September 2008, a 158-year-old bank collapsed overnight. $600 billion gone. Retirement accounts vaporized. Millions lost their jobs. Entire economies froze. But the real cause of the global financial crisis didn't start with complex derivatives or shadowy backroom deals. It started with a lie so simple you could print it on a billboard. Why rent when you can own? The setup, cheap money, and a dangerous dream. Cue the upbeat music. It's 2002. America is bruised. The dot-com bubble just burst. 9/11 punched the economy in the gut. Wall Street is nervous, so the Federal Reserve steps in with a plan. Slash interest rates to nearly zero. Money becomes cheap. Borrowing becomes easy. And suddenly, America's favorite pastime isn't baseball anymore, it's buying houses. Congratulations, you're approved for $500,000. But we make $40,000 a year. No problem. Adjustable rate mortgage, balloon payments, ninja loans, no income, no job, no assets, no problem. Home ownership stops being about shelter. It becomes identity, stability, status, the American dream, mass-produced and aggressively marketed. Every commercial, every billboard, every seminar screamed the same message. Why rent when you can own? Banks didn't just agree, they competed. Money was thrown at borrowers like a game show finale. Everyone was winning, on paper. Enter the subprime mortgage, loans for people with bad credit, unstable income, or only a vague relationship with reality. Bad credit, approved. No credit, approved. Living in a van. Congratulations on your luxury condo. Worried about paying it back? Don't be. If you default, the bank just sells the house for more, because housing prices only go up. The frenzy when logic left the building. This wasn't lending, it was a gold rush. Homes doubled in value in months. That was considered normal. McDonald's workers, baristas with $5 in savings, approved for mortgages, traditional lending standards, too slow. Risk assessments, too boring, down payments, optional. If you had a pulse, you qualified. People bought houses like ramen noodles. Mortgage brokers printed loans like monopoly money. Commissions rolled in faster than anyone could ask. Is this sustainable? Behind it all was blind faith. Housing prices had always gone up until now, and no one wanted to imagine now the bubble greed hits critical mass. By 2005, houses weren't homes anymore. They were chips on a casino table. I teach phonics during the day and flip condos at night. I just bought my third house, zero down. I don't even live in any of them. Real estate wasn't shelter, it was a lottery ticket. Buy, flip, profit, repeat. The more people rushed in, the higher prices soared. The higher prices soared, the more people rushed in. It was like trying to put out a fire with gasoline, and everyone had a match. But beneath the granite countertops and open houses, rot. Those subprime loans, they were bad, really bad. High risk, barely verified income. Borrowers drowning before the ink dried. So Wall Street did what Wall Street does best. They repackaged the trash. Financial alchemy, turning garbage into gold banks, bundled toxic mortgages together and sold them as investments. Mortgage-backed securities, now with 80% more lies. How do you make junk look safe? You call it AAA. And the ratings agencies agreed. Why? Because the banks paid them to. It was like hiring a food critic and telling them they only get paid if they call your raw chicken Michelin worthy. But Wall Street wasn't finished. They took those mortgage bundles and stacked them into something even more complex, collateralized debt obligations, CDOS. Through pure financial alchemy, garbage became investment grade. Not everyone was fooled. A handful of skeptics read the fine print and saw the rot. They asked a dangerous question. What if we bet against this? There was just one problem. You couldn't. So Wall Street built something new. The weapon, betting on collapse credit default swaps, insurance contracts that paid out if mortgage investments failed. Here's the insane part. You didn't need to own the investment to buy the insurance. It was like taking out life insurance on your neighbor's grandma and rooting for the stairs to win. The entire system became a Jenga tower of leverage and lies. Every block, a bad loan, every layer, a bigger bet. At the top, champagne, bonuses, record profits. Whistleblowers were ignored. Regulators slept. Executives were too rich to stop. The music played louder as the floor cracked beneath them. The collapse. When the music stopped. At first, it was quiet, missed payments, empty condos, foreclosure signs in Vegas. Then the headline nobody believed. Housing prices are falling. They weren't supposed to. But in 2007, the wrong block was pulled. Subprime loans imploded. Mortgage-backed securities detonated. Banks realized their safe assets were radioactive. And then Lehman Brothers collapsed. 158 years old, gone, no bailout, just a $600 billion crater. If Lehman could die, anyone could. Banks stopped lending. Credit froze. The global economy stalled. Businesses couldn't make payroll. Families lost homes. Retirements evaporated. By late 2008, it was full collapse. Millions unemployed. Millions foreclosed. Soup kitchens overwhelmed. This wasn't Wall Street burning. This was Main Street in freefall, and it went global. Iceland, Europe, Asia, South America. The Great Recession had arrived. The rescue, too big to fail. Or the US government faced an impossible choice. Let the system collapse or bail out the people who caused it. They chose the bailout, $700 billion, TARP. Banks were too big to fail because if they fell, everything fell. Money rained down, loans, bailouts, stock purchases. AIG got $180 billion. GM and Chrysler got $80 billion. At the Fed, interest rates hit zero. Then came quantitative easing, printing money to buy toxic assets, patching the Titanic with stacks of cash. And somehow it worked. Markets stabilized. Banks survived. But Main Street didn't. 8 million jobs lost. 4 million homes foreclosed. $19 trillion in household wealth erased. And people were furious. Wall Street got bonuses. Families got eviction notices. No CEOs went to jail. No perp walks. Just golden parachutes. The aftermath, a broken trust. In 2011, Zuccotti Park filled with tents and signs. We are the 99%. The anger wasn't just about money. It was about a system that privatized profits and socialized losses. When banks fail, they get rescued. When you fail, you get crushed. The system survived. Trust didn't. Because the lesson of 2008 isn't that crises come from chaos. They come from things that look safe, profitable, inevitable, right up until they aren't.